How's it going, everybody? Welcome into a brand new video. I've got a very exciting one for you here today, but first I wanted to shout out to all of you. Thank you so much for your support. I read all the comments and I really appreciate the comments you left me, especially on that video we just made featuring that content creator from Japan. Incredible team. Shout out to TA2, the creator, and very fun. I've got some more exciting Master League content for you, and this one is a banger. Creating Master League content is pretty tough. There aren't very many creators that do it very well. PoGoDomz, though, is one of the best. If you don't follow him on socials, make sure that you do. I'll drop a link down to his channels in the description below. This whole video is based on a team that he played during a duo stream with Elodicolo. This is going to be Heatran with Stone Edge. These battles are ripped directly from the stream, so if you want to watch the whole thing, I will leave a link to Elodicolo's channel as well. I'm holding the phone sideways because that iPad aspect ratio is just easier to see when I look at it this way. Let's jump right into these battles, though. He's got the Palkia in the lead, facing off against a Shadow Rhyperior. This is actually a very close matchup. Palkia is going to win this charge tech priority every single time, but it looks like Domz actually is going to overcharge just a little bit. In the back line, he does have that Rhyperior and the Heatran, which I'm so excited for. Heatran was one of the few legendary Pokemon that I have 100% IV version of, so I really want to try it. Rock-Wrecker does connect, though, and that's really tough. Going to bring in his own Rhyperior, and again, just when you thought Rhyperior was extinct, right? Just when you fell out of the meta, they pull you back in, right? We got Rhyperior on both sides. Gonna go ahead and get the KO there. One shield each, but this Rhyperior's got a lot of energy. In comes the Kyurem. Ice Fang hurts, but this Rock Wrecker is gonna hurt even more if it connects. So the opponent is forced to shield and then the switch. And this is Heatran's best position to be in because it's gonna resist literally everything this Pokemon can throw at it. Being steel and fire is so incredible. If you're not up against ground types, opponent switches in Dialga, and guess what? It's not going to get any better for the opponent. They've got Dialga and Kyurem White, and this Heatran is going to double resist all these Dragon Breaths. It's going to resist the Iron Head. It's going to resist the Roar of Time. Everything is going to go to waste here against the Heatran, but it is getting a little bit low. The Dragon Breaths do a lot of damage, haha. And it looks like the Kyurem comes back out. Gonna throw the first Stone Edge of the video, and this is such a nice tech because I've seen a lot of Iron Head Heatran. I think that's definitely the preferred moveset, at least on PvPoke, but seeing it here is really cool. PoGoDomz, I don't want to give any spoilers, but he lands it on some pretty huge targets. So make sure to keep watching to see more Heatran action. I actually might run this team, if I'm being honest. I might try this team today. We're going to see the Ho-Oh lead in game number 2. This is actually not bad, right? Because if you're the Rhyperior, you've got Rock Wrecker coverage. If you're Palkia Origin, you've got the Aqua Tail, of course. And then if you were playing the Heatran, you already know. It looks like the Ho-Oh is staying in the matchup, though. Gonna go ahead and throw a charge tech. This looks like the Brave Bird connecting to Palkia. Gonna swap now into the Rhyperior. Great reflexes by Domz to keep that Palkia Origin form in the game. Gonna go ahead and throw this Breaking Swipe almost immediately into the Dialga Origin form to try to slow it down. Does not get a debuff, though. And these Iron Heads are going to hurt quite a bit, so Domz is actually going to go ahead and shield here. If he can shield and farm down, that's actually the best case scenario, and he is able to execute just 2 more Mud Slaps, get the job done. Now he's able to throw this Rock Wrecker into the next target that hits the field. Looks like the opponent is going to send in Kyogre, and this is a huge issue for this team. He's got a very weak Palkia. He's got a Heatran in the back. I mean, there's really very few options here. So he brings in the Palkia, and he's going to try to deal as much damage as possible. Getting close to the Spatial Rend, but not quite there. This might actually force a shield from the opponent, and it does. Hold on. Maybe there's a glimmer of hope here. Kyogre is building up so much energy. Surf, Origin Pulse, both of those would be devastating for the Heatran. Opponent fires the Origin Pulse. Domz has the Stone Edge. He waits. Gonna throw this into the Kyogre. I think this might actually be enough. Stab or not. And it does actually KO. In comes the Ho-Oh. Gonna go for 2 Incinerates. He's got the, oh my gosh, he had the Magma Storm, but he's gonna go for the Stone Edge to boot. What an insane game number 2 here from this Stone Edge Heatran into the Ho-Oh. Absolutely astounding. You might argue that Brave Bird would have been enough there. Maybe it was. Opponent wanted to go for that Sacred Fire, though. So GG's and very well played. Do not underestimate the Stone Edge Heatran. Gonna go to this game number 3. Now this is a little bit of a trickier matchup. He's got 2 good answers to steal in the back in Mud Slap Rhyperior and Fire Spin Heatran, but at the same time, he's gonna actually stay in here for a little while. As we were talking about in the comments in the last video, I've seen Ironhead Dustmane, I've seen Outrage Dustmane, I've seen Dark Pulse Dustmane. So many viable options here for this Pokemon. Looks like this is going to be the Dark Pulse variant. Good timing there by Domz as well to get off this second Aqua Tail. Do we see a switch and a pivot here after that charge attack? No, actually staying in. Honestly, I'm a little bit surprised, but I feel like if you double shield, you might be able to Dragon Breath all the way down, and a loaded Palkia is nothing to play with. Oh, unable to get the farm down though. Palkia is unable to get the KO, and that means another Dark Pulse comes through, but oh, it's able to get the knockout in the end. So taking control of switch advantage, even though you're down 0-1 shields, is pretty good. Denies a Dragon Breath there as well, which is primo for Palkia Origin form, and then instant pivots into Rhyperior. Does not want to get behind on energy. I actually think this play is pretty clever. Again, you're going to lose the Charge Attack priority as a Rhyperior, but he throws the Breaking Swipe. It might not have been a Charge Attack priority tie. Actually KOs with one shot, which is brutal against the Rhyperior. He's got the Heatran now. A lot of energy building up here, but this Palkia is closing in on the next Aqua Tail. For that Palkia to get to the Aqua Tail, it's 12 turns, 3, 6, 9, 12. So every 4 fire spins, that Pokemon is going to get another Aqua Tail. Coming in now with the Kyurem. Is there still a win condition here? Does Domz need to catch? He goes straight for the Stone Edge, but loses the Charge Attack priority. I'm telling you, everybody, do not go head-to-head with either of the Kyurems when it comes to Charge Attack priority ties. You will not win those ties. Their attack stat is sky high. It's really, really desperate situation when you're trying to lock in the Charge Attack priority tie, and it normally does not end well. So avoid it if you can. Next battle, we're going to see the Landorus Therian in the lead here. Great position for the Palkia. Opponent switches into the Necrozma, and after banking the move, Domz goes into the Heatran. Come to think of it, Ironhead resisted, Sunsteel Strike resisted, Outrage double resisted. The only thing that they can do is throw the Dark Pulse here. Gonna go ahead for the charge attack here. I think this is the Magma Storm coming through from the Heatran, and it does pick up the knockout. Looks like the opponent's gonna wait out that switch timer just a little while. Coming in now with the Lando again. Gonna go for the Magma Storm again. I think this is a good play by Domz. He's taking double super effective damage from these mud shots, and this means that he's able to get off some damage, whereas the Stone Edge might not have been possible, but the combo play, Wombo combo right into that Palkia Origin form to throw the Aqua Tail and take away that final shield. Whenever your opponent has energy and they have an investment in a Pokemon, it's very, very likely that they will shield it, and that was a great way for Domz to apply pressure there. Gonna go for another Sandsear Storm, and it looks like this one is gonna get shielded. Oh, now it's a Kyurem. I think this is actually, I think Domz and I both have the Walmart Palkia. I think this is the Draco Meteor Palkia. Again, the image is pretty small, but I'm trying to read as best I can. In comes the Rhyperior, and it's fully healthy. This looks like a Dragon Breath Kyurem White. I keep seeing Ice Fang Kyurem White. I am learning right now, in this very moment, that this Pokemon can get Dragon Breath. That's wild. I've seen Dragon Tail Kyurem Black. That actually seems super interesting. Beefy, absolute A-grade ground beef Texas style overcharge there by Domz allows him to get to the breaking swipe here against the Landorus and pick up the KO. Incredible energy management. I think Elodicolo called this out during their duo stream as well. Fantastic energy management there by Domz to recognize the charge attack intervals and how long he can afford to overcharge. Super, super important in Master League when you're dealing with a lot of Dragon Breath users that really are difficult to count unless you're counting your own moves or you're keeping track of the time in your head. Opponent switches immediately into Palkia, and honestly with this team, I think you have to stay. I think you have to stay as the Palkia Origin. If you do decide to play this squad, if you do have the Hundo Heatran that's maxed out, as I do, then I think in this matchup, Domz played it right. The negative side here is that you're unable to get to 2 moves unless you deny. Yeah, it is Walmart Palkia. Let's go, Domz. Gonna throw the Draco Meteor now into that Ho-Oh, and it connects, which is massive now with the Rhyperior. Prays for no Solar Beam and prays for no Earthquake. If it's Brave Bird or Sacred Fire, not a big deal. Brave Bird does connect. Rhyperior withstands it. Oh, the final Pokemon looks like it's Dialga. This is a Palkia Origin form, Ho-Oh, Dialga Origin form, AVA Origin team. And look at this overcharge as well. Wow. I was gonna say, after having all that energy, I would be shocked if Domz no shielded. He banks the 2 breaking swipes, goes into the Heatran. This is gonna be tricky. Ho-Oh actually has a pretty low attack stat for the Master League. It's definitely a bulk-oriented Pokemon, as much as that's possible. Opponent, maybe, I don't know what their plan is here, but they actually get Fire Spin down. Ho-Oh getting Fire Spin down was not on my bingo card for this video, but here we are. What a time to be alive. Let's check out this next battle as well. Again, if you enjoy Domz's battles, you need to watch his shorts. Best in the game at it. I highly, highly recommend that you follow all of his channels. He's actually been crushing it in terms of shorts, and they're always really fun and exciting. The edits go crazy, you guys. All right, Kyurem Black. This one is running Shadow Claw, which is kind of the typical moveset that we've come to expect. It's the most recommended. Again, the most often times when you see this Pokemon, just assume it's Shadow Claw. You saw that in my last video with my Dustmane Necrozma. It was a little bit tough, but Dragon Tail is interesting, and I am going to look into that. Gonna throw the Aqua Tail here. It does pick up the shield, actually. And before he can get to another Aqua Tail, opponent does throw the charge attack. I think Palkia might have been able to hang on there. But it would have been super close, so instead Dom's taking the safe play. Now coming in with the Togekiss. Oh my goodness, if he can line up that Heatran versus this Togekiss, it is gonna be GG's. He actually force switches it and gets a Groudon. Now everyone, things are getting interesting. Groudon comes in, Precipice Blades, Fire Punch is the standard moveset. That first Magma Storm does connect, but this is like the worst thing that Heatran could see. I think this is even worse than Lando, right? Because Groudon is much bulkier, and it actually has a ground type attack. Oh, double super effective. I think that KO'd like 2.5 Heatrans. Coming back with a Palkia, gonna throw the Aqua Tail here. I'm very confident that Palkia would win that charge tech priority, but I might throw that number up on the screen. Now we have the Togekiss coming out, and it is a Rhyperior, and the opponent top lefts. It wasn't Heatran that got the job done in that game, to be fair, but I do think that the Rhyperior scared off the Charmer just the same. Going to this next battle, Kyurem Black leading in the field here. Oh, this is actually Dragon Tail. Dude, look at how much damage that Dragon Tail is doing. My goodness, it's absolutely destroying this Palkia. My gosh. Fusion Bolt does get fired off, and look at the timing here by Domz. A little bit awkward there. Does allow a full Dragon Tail through, but I can't blame him, right? Being a little flustered by this Dragon Tail user is something that's totally understandable, because this is not what you expect. Coming in now with Necrozma. Wow, okay. Necrozma with Kyurem Black in the lead. I like that duo quite a bit, everybody. Gonna go ahead and fire another Mud Slap. Going up for the Rock Wrecker on bad timing, but wants to get the charge attack off. Do we see a swap after this into the Heatran? No switch timer available. What? Dude, he's able to Mud Slap all the way down? What preposterous activity is that? Dom's actually gonna let this one go. Fusion Bolt does barely anything. Opponent, oh, they have their own Heatran, dude, get out of here. No, seriously, get out. I think you're gonna lose this game. But in all fairness, it is really, really sick to see the Heatran. Opponent no shields their Rock Wrecker, definitely bending the knee there to PoGoDomz and his Rhyperior gameplay. We got one more battle, everybody. If you've enjoyed this Master League video, let me know down in the comments below. Again, I read every single one of them, and I'm so, so grateful for your support. Next battle, let's see who Domz gets. He's gonna be paired up against Rupak, 44.99. Dialga Origin Form, badly, gotta swap. Gonna go into Heatran. I actually asked Domz this before the recording. I said, what do you safe switch with this team? I thought it'd be Rhyperior, but he actually goes Heatran here. Shh, all right, everybody, don't tell him. Shh, don't tell him. Stone Edge, boom! Absolute primo connection there on the Stone Edge. Opponent scrambling, trying to think about what to do next. They bring in the Kyurem White with Dragon Breath. Oh my gosh, this is not gonna get any better for you, opponent. I'm so sorry. Gonna fire the Magma Storm there. It does get the shield. This looks so bad though. Losing a Ho-Oh in one charge attack is so brutal. I think only a few charge attacks can actually do that. Stone Edge being one of them. Maybe like Origin Pulse, Kyogre might be another one. Opponent swaps into that Dialga, but you can already tell. Taking control of switch advantage, Domz has this one in the bag. All right, everybody, that was really fun. Thank you so much, Domz, for letting me pull some of those battles from the stream. Shout out to Elodicolo as well. Hope you enjoyed the Heatran content, and I'm gonna go try that team. See ya.